Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. I was 36 when I learned that a marriage could look completely normal right up until the moment it wasn't. Donna and I had been married for 7 years. We had our own house, steady jobs, a routine that worked, and the kind of relationship where neither of us had to constantly prove anything to the other. At least, that's what I believed. Donna had never been the type to stay home every night. She liked going out with her friends, and I never had a problem with that. I wasn't interested in tracking her location or asking for updates every hour. So when she told me she was going out for drinks with Lauren and Sophie on Friday night, I just nodded. "What time are you coming back?" I asked. She grabbed her purse from the kitchen counter. "I don't know. Probably around midnight." "Have fun." She smiled. "You don't want to come?" "I've seen enough of your friends to know I'd rather stay home." She laughed and kissed me. "That's why I married you." Good answer. She left a few minutes later. Around 11, she sent me a picture from a crowded bar. Lauren and Sophie were beside her, all three holding drinks and smiling at the camera. Donna looked completely normal. I replied, "Looks like you're having fun." She sent back a heart. That was the last message I got from her that night. I went to bed around midnight. When I woke up at 7:20 the next morning, Donna still wasn't home. I called her. She answered after several rings. "Hey," she said. Her voice sounded rough. "Where are you?" There was a pause. "I'm coming home." That's not what I asked. Another pause. "I ended up at a nightclub with the girls. We stayed later than we planned." I sat up in bed. "All night?" "Pretty much." Something about her answer bothered me. "Where are Lauren and Sophie?" "They left earlier." "Earlier when?" "I don't know, Jeremy. It was late." Her answers were short, defensive. I looked at the clock. "How are you getting home?" "I'll get a ride." "From who?" She went quiet. "I'll be home soon." The call ended. I put my phone down. For the first time in 7 years, I wasn't wondering what time my wife was coming home. I was wondering who she was with. Donna came home about 40 minutes later. I was in the kitchen making coffee when I heard the front door open. She walked in wearing the same black dress she'd left in the night before. Her hair was messy, and she was carrying her shoes in one hand. She looked at me. "Morning." I looked at the clock. "Morning." She dropped her shoes beside the door. "I'm exhausted." "Where are Lauren and Sophie?" She stopped. "They went home hours ago." "And you?" "I stayed at the nightclub." "All night?" "Pretty much." "With who?" She sighed. "I met someone there." I put my coffee down. "Who?" She hesitated. "Josh." "And where is Josh now?" She looked away. "I don't know." "How did you get home?" She rubbed her forehead. "I got a ride." "From Josh?" She didn't answer. I stared at her. "Donna." "Yes." "You came home from Josh's place?" Her face changed. "I didn't say that." "You didn't have to." I picked up my phone and called Lauren. She answered after a few rings. "Jeremy? Sorry to call this early. I need to ask you something." There was a pause. "About Donna?" "Yes." Lauren became quiet. "What did Donna tell you?" "That you all went to a nightclub and you left before she did." "That's true." "Who was she with when you left?" Lauren took a breath. "She was talking to a guy." "Josh?" Another pause. "Yes." "Did she leave with him?" Lauren didn't answer immediately. Then she said, "Jeremy, I didn't want to get involved." "You're already involved. I just need the truth." "I saw them leave together." My jaw tightened. "Where did they go?" "I don't know." "You're sure?" Sophie and I went outside to talk for a while. Donna and Josh stayed inside. A little later, they came out together. I saw them get into his car, that's all. I thanked her and ended the call. Donna was standing across the kitchen watching me. "What did she say?" she asked. I looked directly at my wife. "She said you left the nightclub with Josh." Donna's face changed, only slightly, but I saw it, and that was enough to know the conversation wasn't over. Donna didn't answer me. She stood there with her arms folded, staring at the floor. I waited 3 seconds. "Well?" She looked up. "I didn't plan for any of this." "That's not an answer." "I went out. I had too much to drink. Josh started talking to me. And then? We went outside. You left the nightclub with him." "Yes." "Why?" She shook her head. "I don't know." I almost laughed. "You don't know why you left a nightclub with another man at 2 in the morning?" "I was drunk, Jeremy." "Being drunk doesn't erase the decisions you made." She walked toward the kitchen counter. "Nothing happened." Then why did you lie about it? I knew you'd get angry. You were right. She looked at me. Josh was just giving me a ride. To where? My friend had already left. I didn't want to go home alone. Lauren told me you got into Josh's car. Yes. Where did he take you? Donna hesitated again. His apartment. I stared at her. So, you left a nightclub with a man you met that night, got into his car, and went to his apartment. We were just talking. Until what time? I don't know. Did you sleep there? Her eyes moved away from mine. Donna. Yes. The word came out quietly. You slept at his apartment? Yes. I stepped closer. Did you sleep with him? She immediately shook her head. No. I held her gaze. Look at me and say it again. She looked at me. We didn't sleep together. I believe she was lying. Not because I had proof yet. Because her story had changed 3 times in less than 10 minutes. First, she said she was with the girls. Then she admitted she met Josh. Then she admitted she left with him. Then she admitted she went to his apartment. And now she wanted me to believe nothing happened. I picked up my phone. Where's your car? At the nightclub. Why? I couldn't drive. So Josh drove you to his apartment. Yes. And this morning? He called me a ride. From his apartment? She nodded. I took a breath. Donna, I'm going to ask you one last time. Did you sleep with him? She crossed her arms tighter. No. I nodded. Fine. She looked surprised. Fine? Yes. I'll find out. Her expression hardened. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to stand here arguing with you. I grabbed my keys. Where are you going? To get your car. She stared at me. I opened the door. And when I come back, we're going to have a very different conversation. I drove to the nightclub alone. I found Donna's car in the parking lot and unlocked it. I checked inside, but there was nothing unusual. On the passenger seat was her small purse. I picked it up and noticed a receipt sticking out from underneath it. It was from a hotel. I looked at the date. Friday night. The time was 1:18 a.m. I read the name of the hotel twice. Then I took a picture of the receipt, folded it, and slipped it into my pocket. When I got home, Donna was sitting at the kitchen table. She looked at me. Where's my car? Outside. She nodded. I put the hotel receipt on the table between us. What's this? Her face went pale. Where did you get that? Your car. She picked it up. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is. She stared at the receipt. Josh and I went there. I leaned against the counter. You said you went to his apartment. We did. Then why were you at a hotel? She didn't answer. Donna. She put the receipt down. We went there before the nightclub. Why? I don't know. Stop saying you don't know. My voice was louder this time. You knew enough to go to a hotel at 1 in the morning. You knew enough to leave the nightclub with him. And you knew enough to go to his apartment. She started crying. I was drunk. That doesn't answer my question. She wiped her face. Josh and I kissed. I said nothing. She continued. Then things went further. How far? She looked at me. We slept together. There it was. No excuses could change that sentence. I nodded slowly. So you lied to me. I'm sorry. You didn't just lie about sleeping with him. You lied about everything. I was scared. You were scared of telling your husband you cheated on him. She looked down. I didn't want to lose you. I walked around the table and stood in front of her. You already made that choice. She grabbed my hand. Jeremy, please. I pulled my hand away. She looked up at me. I just wanted one crazy night. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then I asked the only question that mattered. Was our marriage the thing you wanted to escape from? She shook her head. No. Then you knew exactly what you were risking. She started crying harder. I looked at her and said calmly, We're getting divorced. Donna stared at me like she hadn't understood what I'd said. Divorced? Yes. Jeremy, you can't be serious. I'm completely serious. She stood up so quickly that her chair scraped across the floor. You're ending 7 years of marriage over one mistake? No, I'm ending it because you made a choice, lied about it, and then tried to make me believe I was imagining the problem. It was one night. It was enough. She followed me as I walked toward the hallway. Please, just give me some time. You had all night. She stopped. I turned around. You had hours to think about what you were doing. You had a chance to stop. You had a chance to come home. You had a chance to tell me the truth this morning. Donna's eyes filled with tears. I was drunk. I know. I wasn't thinking. You were thinking enough to leave with him. She looked away. I continued. And you were thinking enough to go to a hotel. She didn't respond. I went upstairs and opened the drawer where we kept our important documents. Our marriage certificate was sitting in the same folder as our insurance papers and mortgage documents. I took it out. Donna followed me into the room. What are you doing? Getting organized. She stared at the papers in my hand. You're actually doing this? Yes. Can we go to counseling? No. Why not? Because I don't need a therapist to tell me whether I want to stay married. She sat on the edge of the bed. I'll never talk to Josh again. That's not the point. I'll give you access to my phone, my location, everything. That's not the point either. Then what is? I looked at her. I don't want to spend the rest of my marriage checking whether my wife is telling me the truth. She started crying again. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I simply told her what was going to happen. Call your sister. You can stay with her tonight. You're kicking me out? I'm giving you a place to go while we figure out the house. She shook her head. This is really happening. Yes. She sat there silently for a moment. Then she asked, Do you hate me? No. That seemed to surprise her. I picked up the folder. But I don't trust you anymore. And for me, that was enough. Donna went to stay with her sister that evening. I stayed at the house. The next morning, I called an attorney and scheduled a consultation. I also opened a separate bank account and moved my paycheck there. Our joint account stayed untouched, except for the mortgage and household bills. I wasn't trying to punish Donna. I was making sure that when the divorce started, neither of us could claim the other had hidden money. 2 days later, Donna called me. Can I come home? For what? I left some things. You can pick them up this weekend. I want to talk. We've talked. Jeremy, please. I agreed to let her come Saturday afternoon. When she arrived, she looked different. No makeup, no anger, no attempt to act like everything was fine. She walked into the kitchen and sat down. I haven't spoken to Josh. That's good. I blocked him. I nodded. There's something else you should know. I waited. She looked at her hands. I wasn't as drunk as I told you. That got my attention. What does that mean? I remember most of the night. I leaned back in my chair. I met Josh at the bar. He bought me a drink. We talked for almost an hour. And then, we left together. Where did you go? To a hotel. Before the nightclub? She nodded. Yes. And Lauren and Sophie? They went to the nightclub without me. So you met them there later? Yes. And you pretended nothing had happened? She looked down. Yes. And when Lauren saw you leaving the nightclub with Josh, what did she say? She told me to come back with them. But you didn't? No. Why? Donna looked directly at me. Because I wanted to leave with him. That was the first completely honest answer she'd given me. Did you know you were going to his apartment? Yes. I nodded once. So, it wasn't an accident. No. She started crying. I thought I could have one night where I didn't care about anything. I looked at her. And you didn't care about me. She shook her head quickly. I did. Your actions say otherwise. She wiped her face. I thought I'd come home and we'd just move past it. That's the problem. I stood up. You thought I would carry the consequences of a decision you made for yourself. She didn't answer. Then she said something that changed the way I saw the entire night. I wanted to know if I could still attract someone like him. I stared at her. After 7 years of marriage? She nodded. Yes. I picked up the folder containing the divorce papers. Then you got your answer. I placed it on the table. And now you're going to live with mine. The divorce took several months. Donna fought me on the house at first, but once the financial records were reviewed, there wasn't much room for arguments. We had bought it together, and neither of us could afford to keep it alone without making the settlement complicated. Eventually, we agreed to sell it. That was probably the hardest practical part of the whole process. Not because I wanted the house, because every room reminded me of a life I had thought was permanent. I packed my things, hired movers, and left before the final closing. Donna tried several times to talk me out of the divorce. One evening, she called while I was sitting in my new apartment. Jeremy, I know I don't deserve another chance. I didn't answer immediately. She continued, but I still love you. I believe you. Then why won't you come back? Because loving someone doesn't erase what they did. I made one terrible decision. You made several. She went quiet. I continued. You chose to stay with Josh. You chose to go to the hotel. You chose to lie when you came home. Then you told me you wanted one crazy night. I know. You didn't think about what would happen the next morning. I was wrong. Yes. There was a long silence. Then she said, "Do you ever think about us?" Of course. Then don't we deserve to try? No. Her voice cracked. Why? Because trying would mean rebuilding something I don't want anymore. She didn't respond. A few seconds later, she asked, "Is there someone else?" No. Then I don't understand. I looked around my apartment. It was smaller than the house we'd shared, but everything inside belonged to me. There were no memories I had to fight through every morning. You think I left because I found someone better, I said. Didn't you? No, I took a breath. I left because I decided I was better off without a marriage I couldn't trust. The divorce became final 3 weeks later. Donna signed the papers. So did I. When I walked out of the lawyer's office, I didn't feel victorious. I just felt finished. And for the first time in months, that was enough. 6 months after the divorce, I ran into Donna at a grocery store. I was standing near the coffee aisle when I heard my name. Jeremy? I turned around. Donna was standing a few feet away with a basket in her hand. For a second, neither of us said anything. She looked calmer than she had the last time I'd seen her. "How are you?" she asked. "I'm good. You?" "I'm getting there." I nodded. She looked at the ring finger on my left hand. There was nothing there. "You really moved on," she said. "Yeah. Are you seeing someone?" "Not seriously." She smiled faintly. "I guess I thought you'd hate me forever." "I never hated you." "Then what did you feel?" I thought about it. "Disappointed." She looked down. "I still think about that night." "So do I. I wish I'd never gone out." I shook my head. "I don't." She looked surprised. "You don't?" "No." "Why?" "Because now I know the truth." She was quiet. Then she said, "I really thought we'd survive it. You thought I'd forgive you. I thought 7 years meant something." They did. She looked at me. "Then why wasn't it enough?" I answered without hesitation. "Because 7 years meant something to me, too. That's why I wasn't willing to pretend what you did didn't matter." She nodded slowly. "I really did just want one crazy night." "I know. I didn't think it would cost me everything." I looked at her. "That was your mistake." She swallowed. "I miss you." "I know. And you don't miss me?" I gave her an honest answer. "I miss who I thought you were." That hurt her. I could see it. But I wasn't saying it to hurt her. It was simply the truth. I picked up my coffee and stepped away. As I walked toward the checkout, I thought about the night she'd gone to that nightclub. She had wanted one night where she didn't think about consequences. She got exactly what she wanted. But she had forgotten something. She could choose what she did that night. She couldn't choose what I did the next morning. She chose Josh. I chose myself. And that was the last decision I ever had to make about our marriage. Thank you for watching.